Broadcast live.
Hey yo, what's up? We out here, it's the balcony. We got Mr. Cash Time, Skhanda God.
Yes, sir.
How
Yes,
you
sir.
doing, my brother?
I'm great, man.
Yo, congratulations on the new album,
Yes, sir. Blessed out.
PTY Ltd.
Unlimited.
What
Yes,
is
sir.
what's the meaning of the title of the album? Just
The album title came about just like how when I was putting the album together, I wanted to put together a body of work that almost comes across as like, when you listen to someone's greatest hits or like the best of, and then they put like a collection of like all the big songs. But like I wanted to do it with new material. So sonically, when you listen to the album, it sounds like every record on there could be a potential single, right?
Yeah.
So that is one, a business, cap that I was wearing the entire time when I was working on those records, and also for me, just over transcending the music space, it's also being fully just immersing myself into the entrepreneur and probably mogul that I aspire to be. That anything that I put my hands on, needs to turn into, there needs to be a gain from it, Also for the people that are listening to the music, I want them, when they listen to this is supposed to be almost like workout music. If you are in the office and you're sitting there and you're putting presentation together, this is the album that you need to be jamming. If you are a student, this is the album you need to be jamming, because I just felt like I wanted to bring that motivation across. And also like you're saying, PTY Unlimited, it's a play on PTY Ltd, which is a registered, business entity. I want people to, get accustomed with the culture of ownership and all those kind of things. So it was just like a multiple entendre of some sort, with just like the play on the word itself.
You've gone through just coming in first to literally go a million, to get a million views, on YouTube. Before that shit was that shit, you know what I mean? You the dude that actually opened that door, went through the challenges you had, you're making a comeback. What do you think? You're in the game and you playing it. Do you think that like when you're at your high, and when you literally like were going through the challenges that literally take you to a low, and you're back once again with your Essex deal, you're back with your clothing, your Skhanda Republic deal, and now you're back with the music. What do you think is the one thing that moves a person from that place, that place, and that place?
For me as a man, like I've always had my own trajectory, planned out. I forecast my own future. Obviously, I'm a very spiritual person, and I believe in following my gut. So I wouldn't pull the trigger on certain things unless if God says, if God gives me the green light, then I'm on it. So, for instance, when I was going through the challenges and stuff, trials and tribulations, if I was another person, I could have easily just like thrown in the towel and be like, okay, cool, so let me go do other things, right? But I came into the game as part of Teargas, and we shifted the paradigm in terms of like what we did in the culture. Boom, and then we transitioned into Cash Time, and I became a solo artist. Yes, I had a record label, another culture shift. So, and then unfortunately we go through, the challenges that we went through. What I always wanted to do with every move, I always wanted to make sure that like my legacy, top to bottom, from the day that I came in, even the low points, I need all that stuff to be documented, so that like for the younger guys coming into the game, they need to understand that like it's not about coming in and just like cashing in, and once people cancel you and then boom, you go back to your little cocoon or whatever, you know. If you really are about this shit, you need to go the whole 9 yards. You need to weather the storm, you know what I mean? I went through a very rough, quiet storm, but I had to go through it as a man because it was part of the process. I can tell you now, if I hadn't gone through, you know, the dip, I probably wouldn't have made the album that I made, you know, or like some of the moves that are playing out right now, they wouldn't have, you know, come about, because as great an artist as I believe I am, and you know, I've got a couple of classics under my belt, but I could have easily just like I actually could see myself falling into a bit of complacency, especially after the first album. 2019, I didn't even drop. 2015, I didn't release one single song. You know, it was just like, all right, cool, so we're riding the Skhanda Republic wave, boom, 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 and whatnot, right? And then by doing that, the game was moving at such a fast speed that like I didn't realize that I was actually selling myself short. So now where I am, I'm on top of my game yet again, and I'm inspired not only by what I'm seeing out there, but like the inner voice that tells me that, yo, you are the guy, you are that nigga, you know? You need to live by it and, you know, walk and talk that way, because that is who you are, and that's your God-given talent. That's a gift to you. So I think that's just literally where I am right now. It's all about just like writing my own legacy and closing the chapter the way that I wanted to, because I felt like the past 2-3 years, before even cancel culture was a thing, I think I was canceled. You understand me? So
cancel culture has been a thing forever.
You know what I mean? But like obviously now it's like, you know, but like I was canceled, so to speak. And now here I am, you know, just like I went against the odds, went against the grain, and people just saw the resilience, and then boom, everything's coming full circle.
You think that it's a mind thing also? Like
definitely.
A lot of alone time. I mean, does KO ever sit or did KO ever sit in fear, you know, of tomorrow, you know, when you were going through all this
You
stuff?
don't understand, bro. I have a big house. I live by myself, and I've been there since like 2016.
Yeah.
In the north. So, I mean, before that, I was living with my E, and we co-owned a house and stuff. You know, we were sharing the weight.
Yeah.
So I moved to a bigger property, and you know what that comes with, you know, like, and I'm in in an estate, and you know, the perks.
Yeah.
So when the money starts slowing down, and when you're hearing all these stories like, oh shit, this guy, whoever, you know, their car got repossessed, I'm like, oh shit, boom. Or this guy is moving back to the hood. Like, you're soaking up all this stuff, and you putting it into your own, you ingesting it into your own space. And then now it starts affecting you as well, because now you're actually also looking at, oh shit, so this month is looking pretty dry. How are niggas gonna pay for the bond? How long can I sustain being in this house, in this property? Niggas might fuck around and have to sell the shit in the next couple of months or so, you know? So the fear was there, you know, but like through the presence of God and being like someone who is just resilient, God has always provided, and I never missed a payment and stuff like that, you know, and I'm still comfortable even till this day. And also like last year, like, you know, the tragic things that we saw happening in our game where, you know, through the losses, rest in peace, of like, you know, the greats, you know, the Jabbers and, you know, and Homeboy Pro. When you're seeing all this shit happening, like you're saying, like, you said you think it's a mind thing. I remember having this conversation with Caesar shortly after the whole situation. And like, we were talking about like how all of this is just psychological. Like last year, depression and anxiety was trending, right? Not to say it's not a common issue. It is. It's there. But like everyone, when things are not going well, boom, all right, cool. So I'm going through depression. I'm going through anxiety. You know, the conversation wasn't as emphasized as it was last year. It was at its highest.
Some people were riding it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or using it as some type of an scapegoat, or like, you know, for self-pity or some shit like that, right? So when we were talking with homie, felt like, you know, it's easy for someone to say they're going through a depression, but once you put money in their pocket, depression is gone. And I think that's a toxic
impression.
You know what I mean?
Impression when you put the money in their pocket.
You understand me? So, and I think that's a very toxic way of doing things, because there's people who don't have financial issues who actually are going through depression and all those kind of things, right? So don't use your situation or whatever that you might be going through, like economic state, you know, and then boom, you want to resort to saying things like that, right? And I'm not an expert in this, but I just feel like I've seen it happening over and over, especially with us in the entertainment space. Our situation is crazy because we end up dealing with things like our success and our failure are the reason why we are such sensitive beings, because you could have a #1 record now, and then a year later, and then now you can't afford your rent, and then now you're thinking, oh my God, like I need to go back. I need to, you know, how is this person and that person gonna look at me now? So we're thinking about like perception and all that dumb shit, and then that's how, boom, we get catapulted into some type of depression until we get the next hit, and then now we don't have depression. You feel me? So I think it is definitely a mind thing, and it's important for us to just like build our core. Even if you're not in the entertainment space, it's important for you to build your core and not base things on perception, because I think perception is one of the reasons why we find ourselves like just like you know, going through our lowest points, you know. But yeah, I mean, we're bigger than that.
So I mean, like in CR17, shout out for bumping Skhanda Camp while you're doing
yes,
that.
Sir, yes, sir.
I mean?
Hey, Skhanda Camp gets 2 mentions on the album, bro.
Yeah, listen, no, it's actually like 4, because we're on the chorus. You know what I mean?
You understand what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yes,
shout
sir.
out, B. With that being said, and we mentioned Pro and Jabba passing, Pro, because you know and you've experienced the work that they did and the impact that they have. For an artist like you, what pressure does it give you to still be able to exist in today's time, but still carry carry like the headspace of an artist from a generation that's seen a lot and that can still break bread? I mean, with the new generation. Yeah. I mean, I was looking at like a kid like Uncle Vinny, you know, he posted your image, and he was like, yo, and he was talking about your first album, he was saying one of the joints from your previous album, and he was saying this still slaps. So that means that, you know, he was like, I know these new shit, but this still slaps. You know what I mean? So that means that, you know, even from that generation, they see you know what I mean? How important is it for you to still be able to engage from that generation, and with Jabba passing, Pro passing, just to be in the game and still kind of show that longevity, besides that, like, yo, we in and we out?
I think like we need to play this shit almost like Disney World or like Marvel Comics or Steve Jobs, you feel me? Like Bill Gates and them, right? Because how old are those entities I just mentioned now? Like, it's been eons, and then they've been out here, you know? I mean, Steve Jobs might be gone, but like his company is still ahead of the curve, you understand me? And adapting to the new climate and stuff like that. So that's how I approach music. And also, for me, again, it's all about legacy. I want to make sure that I cement my name in the history books of South African entertainment. So the only way I can do that is for me to transcend age and all that stuff. I look up to people like Jay, for instance, who taught us a new way of aging in hip hop. So it's those people that put the battery on my back to say, all right, cool, so you can do this, you can do that, you can do, and while I'm here, I want to make sure that like everything I touch, I apply, 1,000% effort, and that I excel at the highest level of my, human capacity. And yeah, if I can open doors for other people, either by way of me saying, all right, cool, I'm signing this artist, or by way of me creating a certain energy into the game and shifting the culture in a certain way, and then now like other artists start plugging themselves into that, For me, these are things that allow for me to still exist, even beyond just me having a song or anything of that nature, So those are the things that drive me, bro.
On Tarzan, obviously with everything you've done, you've made your circle smaller. You mentioned Gobs, you mentioned Sulu. What are the qualities that you mentioned them on the whole song, right?
Yeah.
What are the qualities right now that you're looking at for people that you bring in your circle, whether it's like from we share this spotlight together, or you work with me? What are the qualities you're looking at?
You gotta work with me, bro. Don't come here to work for me. I don't ever check for you. If you're coming in to invest in your role, in what the vision is, right? Because that is what will pay you. It's not me just cutting a check to you, giving you a month-to-month salary, So those are the type of people that I'm looking at. And I'm not looking for people that are coming to like to lean on me for shit, right? Because I've worked with, the likes of Tabiso, I've worked with VG. Even in my absence, those niggas can still go out there and do all the great things that they're doing now, Those are the type of people that I want in my life. I don't want someone that is looking for a handout, Now when KO doesn't provide anymore, and then that's the end of you. Fuck that, That means you're not meant to be in my presence to begin with. So with what I'm doing now, especially with this entity, this Skhanda World entity, I want to open it up to designers. I want to open it up to like, film. I want to open it up to obviously artists. I want to open it up to all kinds of shit, like the tech side of things, where I can almost play like a venture capitalist role, where I can throw, if I'm seeing something going that one guy is introducing to the table, I can throw whatever that I can throw into that, and then boom, now we have a real estate wing. Now we have this, that, and you know what I mean? So that is the general vision. That's what I'm looking to, to champion moving forward.
Broadcast live